boxes, originally I had a post here holding the deck, post in the middle, post on the very end. So I dug in between them, dug 2 feet down, layer of this 2-inch high density foam board down and sides all the way around, and then I put a layer, put a row of water pipe, another about 6 inches of gravel, another layer, and I layered that up until I think I have 3 total layers in each of them. So I'll show you how my plumbing's coming in. So I started the plumbing. I want the plumbing coming right to here because this is where one of my flower beds you'll see in the future is. Just come here, so I want to mount my pump and stuff there. This is the return, this is the supply. So I just got them tied up there, taped ends. So this one comes in, goes all the way to the bottom, swirls around, layered with sand, about 6 inches, another layer, sand, another layer. And then from there, it comes out around, out, and over. And I have that insulated, so I don't want the ground to suck it out because I'm gonna have this foam board on top of this. This here, these 3 are gonna be for temperature probes. So they're just hollow pipe, water pipe. I have one that goes to the very bottom, one in the middle, and one that's gonna be just under the surface of the concrete. So the idea of a sand battery, and this isn't sand, it is just gravel, but it's rock, basically very relatable to sand. But sand is a good thermal, it has a good thermal conductivity and storage for heat, and water's a good conductivity as well. So I'm actually gonna have glycol, 50-50 glycol water coming in through these pipes. So water comes in, heats the sand. You have almost 2 feet by 4 by 4, 2 of them that are gonna store heat during the day when the sun's out. The sun's gonna heat the water through whatever I have decide to do. It's gonna heat this up, and then throughout the night, it's just gonna radiate out and heat the concrete. Now, I wish I did the full thing, this whole area, but it was kind of a hindsight thing. I thought it was gonna cut corners, and yeah. But then the other thing is, I think I'm gonna also run hot water tubes just under the concrete too for backup, and to maybe dissipate the rest of whatever the sand doesn't absorb. We'll have it running back through this. We'll see how that works. So here, I finally finished insulating the bottom. This stuff is actually 1.5 inches, it's a little bit cheaper, and that's good enough for what this is. The box is actually made out of 2-inch. So here's that. So the concrete will be completely insulated from the outside ground or the cold coming up from underneath. And then these boxes at the very bottom, it's insulated, and the sides are insulated, so it's protected from the ground. And these 2 boxes are actually gonna heat up, in theory. So hopefully I get a good transfer between the water pipes to the sand, and that will radiate up through and heat the concrete. And then I think I'm gonna get an extra 100 or so feet and actually do an actual like in-floor heating as well. And that would be kind of backup, rather just have it there just in case these don't work as well. I think out what I'll do is and I can hook it up later because I'm gonna have the return line coming up and the supply and return on this coming up from the ground, so I can just plumb in where I want to. Maybe the return water from these gets too cold and doesn't do anything to the concrete, or maybe it's too hot and I can't use it. So we'll just see as we go, and then I'll just be able to plumb it into the floor and get the rest of the heat out before it goes up to evacuated solar tubes or whatever I plan on doing there. It might just be a hot water tank, so then I could really do the whole thing. So that's that. We're just waiting on concrete. Want to show this piece of foam I put on the outside in with my framework. It was nice because the concrete didn't stick to my wood, and then I have a nice thermal barrier here from the cold to the slab. So all I did is when I made my foam the way I wanted it, and I just screwed from the outside into the foam a screw every 3 feet maybe. And then what I did on the inside so that the concrete holds the foam better, probably would have held anyways, but I took some screws and sunk them in this way and kept them sticking out a little ways. So I think they would have grabbed anyways, but that's it. Nice 8-inch slab. So this is what I have started now. I put my 3 beams up, notched them, screwed them in, so that's gonna hold good. 6x6 posts come down. I have this foam on them for laying flooring. I just wanted a little bit of moisture protecting it and keep it off the concrete, and if we get cold air going in there, so that'll help that. I did everything brown pressure treated. I don't think I really needed to, but I figured moisture inside, the high humidity of the greenhouse could rot stuff a little bit more. So yeah, it's a 6-inch wall. I'm gonna insulate this. I'm gonna put vapor barrier on both sides, and I'm going to take vapor barrier once I have my other wall here, loop it in for the soil. I'm going to have tin on the outside, inside, and inside of that wall for to hold the dirt in. Yeah, this is it. So last night I started doing the roof here, which is a pain. It's very time consuming because I have to notch out all this. I'm gonna have to patch one there for that. I had to go around that. It's just so time consuming. I have to put each sheet up first. I screw it up, butt it against this stuff, and then I have a marker on a compass and I just follow the line, keeping it as straight as I can, and go around like that, and then I bring it down, cut it, put it back up. So I got 1.5 more sheets to go up there. So I'm gonna do that this morning. The roof will be on. Then I'm gonna build my inside wall here for the raised beds. And then I'm waiting for tin for the other metal roofing for the sides. And in the meantime, I can insulate this outside wall. I'm gonna wrap continuous sheet over, insulate it, boom. So that's that. So this is what I do. I put one sheet up, just put 2 screws in it, have it in there as where it's gonna sit, and I just have it butted against to, you know, as tight as I can get it to there while it's still in the groove over here. Then what I do is I find my biggest measurement, which was over here. This was the biggest depth there, and I set this. This is just a compass, and I electrical taped it there. So it's my biggest depth, and all I do I try to keep this, well, as square as I can this way, and I just run it down like that and do it the whole way. So this side I'm going to be taking a little bit more off it, and then once I have come down here, there's not going to be cutting anything off here, so it should fit pretty good. And that last one I got used to at the end and it looked pretty good. So yeah, it's a pain, but you know, I got to keep it watertight in here. Okay, so this is what I have done so far. Got both knee walls up. Had to extend my temperature probe things because I'm gonna have 10 on the outside of this. So these got to be sticking out a little bit. Same with over here. They moved in the concrete so they're way in, so they'll now come out here somewhere. So I just have a simple frame. Thought it was a waste trying to do 16-inch on centers or whatever. Just a couple supports to hold the tin in, which is gonna then hold the concrete in. I'm gonna have just the tin on the outside here. I'm gonna have vapor barrier covering all in here, and the topsoil is actually gonna go right in here. So I'm not losing this. The soil is actually gonna come in under here, so I could plant something like right here. Roots will still grow under there, and that's that. And I made my second knee wall just a little shorter, just to make it look different. Roof all screwed up now. Some gaps in there, but it rained really hard last night, and there wasn't even water dripping down here. So with these big eaves I got up there, you kind of protect this whole wall from really getting wet unless it's really windy. So it should be good. Okay, so I have most of the panels up. The front are just on temporarily because I need to dump some dirt in there for the beds. Now the edges are what I've been dreading because I gotta cope it along this tin. So what I did is I cut a piece of cardboard that just fit in here, and what I did is I stuck it up there and screwed it on so it wouldn't move as I was marking it. Just a second, I'm trying to get this on here. Okay. So this piece was actually that full width and it was out here, so I had it just running down actually my deepest side. So that piece right up there, I had it that wide, running all along, screwed it down. And so same with the roof. Is I had I found my deepest side, which was this, and then I stuck it up here, keeping this as square as I can with the wall, and I traced it down. When you get to these angles, they're a little hard because you want to keep it square without moving side to side, and I did that whole bit. And that's, I push that in there. It's nice enough to caulk. as long as I can get a 1/4 inch in there. Then I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut the black line completely off to match that. Then I'm gonna get my actual width. Let's see how that goes. So next step, I had the poly edge cut. I did that with the jigsaw. Now I need my full width from the wall to this. And I just started marking right on this so I can take it right in there and know, like, from here it was exactly 10 inches. Up here I need a cope around this, so it was forward 15/16 to the 8 9/16, and still 10 there. And it's about 8 inches down. I'm gonna keep it short so I can trim more out of it. That's a hard measurement to take there. And I just kept coming down from the actual wall there, it was 10. And then from the wall here to there was just a little shy. So we're gonna go with that, cut our width, bring it here, and probably just have to cope this deeper. Okay, so I got it in there. Up here, it's bulging out a little bit, so I just need to cut this down a little bit, which I intended I'd have to do. Everything else looks pretty good. It's almost too tight of a fit. There's a little gap here, but I might trim this down because I really had to cram that in there. So I think I'll just square this off and the rest will be okay. And there it is. Seam, nice tight seam. Here we got about 1/16 of a gap. That's pretty tight. It's all really nice and tight. Still gotta put some more screws in it, but first I gotta put some clear tape on it. That's that. So I just gotta do the other side. So yesterday I put my 10 on, my 7HJ channel on. I still need more to finish around. All I could do was the front, which I really wanted on first, because since the solo is gonna be pushing this out, I couldn't put that on after. I got one on there, but I gotta do the rest around there. So I got that on. I put plastic here because I heard that you could get some zinc from the galvanized leaching into the soil, potentially if your soil's a little acidic. So I just put that on, and I also have plastic in there. So this is hollowed right out. I can so the soil goes right into here. So to do that, I had the backhoe, and I actually had to take that plastic down, take that panel off, take these 2 posts off on both sides, and then I could dump in here, dump in there, and then I had to shovel it into this one, and of course shovel into this one. And then I put them back up, and I just threw plastic up for the night because I didn't have time to finish putting that polycarbonate on here, which I have to do. I'm just gonna have to, just a little more time consuming since I have a post right there, just like these ones. I'm gonna have to put another 2x4 there, split my polycarbonate, and then cope around it, which is, it just takes a little bit more time. So I might do that today. So yeah, I think it's gonna
gonna be awesome. I'm just curious to see how it's gonna work over the winter. I'm also gonna do, I don't know if I'll do it this year or maybe next year, but I'm gonna, or in the spring, I'm gonna do greenhouse plastic around it. I think I'll do that this year, put a couple layers of foam, like 1 or 2 inches of foam up here, glue it up there. I have to spray foam in between these grooves there, and so at least that'll be insulated. Extra plastic helps for insulation. Oh, and on the outside of this wall, I have to insulate this wall and put more of this tin on the back side. I'm just waiting to thanks for watching the video. I know it wasn't extremely descriptive. I was fighting against time. It's in the fall, and I want to get this done before winter came. So a lot of the videos aren't in there that should probably be to explain more stuff. But just want to give a little update. Like today, for example, it's -8 outside Celsius, so that's about 17.5 degrees Fahrenheit. With the wind chill, it's -17 Celsius, which is about 1.5 Fahrenheit. And inside this greenhouse today, it's 5.5 Celsius, and that's about 42 Fahrenheit. So that's one thing that really surprised me with this is how well this stays above the lowest temperature. It just seems like it's got that equilibrium that it doesn't want to get below. So I think the coldest it's been in here is about -6 almost Celsius. And I'm gonna give a further update with more temperature readings and outside versus inside, so you can get a good idea of what it, when I do get a sunny day outside, what does this heat up to, and I'll explain that because it varies throughout the winter depending on when the sun rises. I have trees here, so that gets blocked in the better part of the morning. So I'm gonna go into a more descriptive detail of that in my next video. Also, I'm gonna have, with that video, a winter update. I'm gonna start planting some stuff in here, and I'm gonna, hopefully in another month, I'll be able to plant directly in here. I want to make sure that this is staying like above 8 Celsius, 10 Celsius at night, which I think will be fine once I have plants established or started at least. Should be good. So that may change. I'll figure that out then. Also, I've been keeping track of temperatures in here with this. This is an awesome unit. So it has it tracks and graphs your temperature, humidity in here, and dew point, I think, which I don't pay attention to, but I'm going to show a graph of the fluctuation of temperatures from when this started to my next video, so you can actually see the peaks, lows, and highs. So that's that. I'm just very happy and surprised that, just at least arugula and some small, I think kale and peas have actually survived in here. I'm very pleased with that. So once I actually implement a little bit of heat, it's it'll be good. So thanks for watching the video. Subscribe if you want to look out for the next video in another month or two. And yeah, happy planning.